Hi there. Today I'm going to be reviewing another movie that I watched on Netflix. It's called Hot Dog the Movie. And it says, "Caution, dangerous curves ahead." This movie came out in 1984. It just so happens to be the year I was born. And it is a sports comedy, and it is rated R. Let's go over who's in this real quick. I don't know if you'll know anybody in it. David Naughton, Patrick Hauser, Tracy Smith, John Patrick Reger, Frank Koppala, James Saito, Shannon Tweed, and I think that's about it. And this movie was directed by Peter Markle. And so let's talk about the plot of this movie. I'm not sure that there was even a plot. There was so few dialogue in this, or so little dialogue in this movie. There's hardly any talking, and the story was just so non-existent. Basically, it was about a guy going to the skiing world championships. I think it was the world championships, some sort of skiing competition. And I don't know if he's just straight out of high school or what exactly is going on, because somebody asks him how he has the money to pay for everything, and he says, well, I worked all summer. So I'm assuming that means he just got out of high school, and then he worked the whole summer, and now he's paying for his way to the World Championships in California. So along the way, he stops for gas, and he finds a girl who needs a ride. She's just gotten thrown out of a car, and they end up kind of having like a little romance, and on the way up there and then there, and he's kind of paying for everything while he's giving her a ride. And so then he meets all these other professional skiers, and they compete. And during the competition, there really isn't much of any talking or anything. There's one competition which I had never heard of or seen. Maybe they made it up for the movie, I'm not sure. It was like downhill figure skiing. It's kind of like figure skating but on skis. It's pretty weird. And basically the whole thing was rigged because there were European sponsors, so they wanted a European to win. And there was some funny scenes, but mostly it was just like, what are these people doing? Like, they're in the mountains, right? And it's winter and snowing out, and they go to a bar, which if he just got out of high school, he just walks straight into a bar. And she is only 17, and she walks into the bar, and then they have a wet t-shirt contest. And I'm like, well, whose idea was it to have a wet t-shirt contest in the middle of winter on a mountain? And then, like, before you know it, just everybody's dancing with no shirts on, and or just everybody takes off their shirts and they're all just dancing. And I'm like, okay, well, they'll probably get hypothermia when they leave, but whatever. And just kind of stuff like that. And then they have like this whole rivalry with this guy there, and it's just pretty boring, basically. If I to score this movie, I would have to give it a 2. It's not quite bad enough to give it a 1. I wouldn't call it a 1 movie, but I definitely didn't like it, and I probably wouldn't recommend it for you. Stay away from this one at all costs.